Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of Brainery Biographies. I'm telling school stories again. Let's go! I'm actually following up on this series. I'm not just doing one and leaving it up forever. Okay, first things first, this channel, the second channel, is now an official verified artist channel. I think that's really cool. Um, I've gotten access to community posts, and I will admit I went a little bit crazy spamming those community posts, but yeah, I just want you guys to interact with them if you end up seeing them ever, and like I don't know, just like comment on them and stuff because it's an experiment. But um, yeah, into the school stories and stuff. I feel like now, like actually during school, is the best time to tell school stories because they are super fresh on my mind. Um, Last year, I thought school was fun when I went back for the fourth 9 weeks. Yeah, but like that's a bit of a shocker. So for those of you who don't know, last school year, um, we had the option to go for virtual school or in-person school, and for 3 9 weeks, or so basically 3 quarters of the school year, I did virtual school. But for the last quarter, I decided to go in person because I wanted to see people. What do people look like again? I wanted to see people and I wanted to talk to people in person. So I went to in-person school and I thought it was fun. I actually liked it. But now that I go back, it's so boring. Like most of my classes are just so incredibly boring. Uh, this morning, I was supposed to have band sectionals at 7 in the morning, right? I wake up around 6:45, 6:50, and for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, like that's nowhere nearly enough time to get ready and be awake and be fully functioning to the extent where I can like process information well and like blow into an instrument with the correct mouth position. And pro, capo, capo, capo. All right, but yeah, that's 15 minutes, and then waking up, waiting 15 minutes, hopping in a car. That's not enough time for me. So I gotta run, gotta run. No, what is this glitch? Aw, they had pearls too. But so I wake up, right, and I get to school 7:10. Sectionals were supposed to start at 7, right? So I'm 10 minutes late. That's not too bad, right? What could they have possibly done in 10 minutes? Not much, but after 10 minutes, the only way to get in is through the side doors of the school because there's no one else is going to be up that early. If the staff doesn't have to come until, or I don't know if the staff's even allowed to come until like 8 o'clock. So like, why would they be there? So the only way to get in is through the side doors, and the people who are there are like the fine arts teachers because the doors are near the fine arts classes. So I was waiting for, and they probably like after the band director lets in the students, uh, they go inside because there's no reason for them to not go inside. Like, but this morning I was waiting there, and I'm like, no one's gonna let me in. My dad just left in his car, and I'm standing outside a middle school that opens at 8:05. It's 7:10 a.m. What am I gonna do? There's not many logical things that you can do in that situation, right? You don't have you're not best friends with your band director. At least I'm not. Or I mean I have some kind of like I guess talking kind of relationship, but I'm not friends with them to the extent where I can send them a text message because I do not have their phone number or any other instant messaging system of communication. So my brain, my rusty brain goes email. That's perfect. I mean, like it's not like they're quite literally teaching a full class of flutes to be too busy to check their email. And obviously, if they get an email notification from a quite random member of band, they would check it, right? Right. That's normal, right? Listen, I was tired because there weren't. It's not that I was tired. It's just that I didn't want. There weren't any other things. Like even now, I can't think of one way that I could have played that situation any better than I did, which is probably bad and means that there's probably something wrong with me. But there's nothing I could do at that moment, right? So if the choir teacher did not come outside the door at like 2 minutes, if he didn't come outside the choir room 2 minutes, he wouldn't have seen me waiting there, and he wouldn't have let me in. And when he did, he did let me in, it was so awkward because it was like, hi, thank you, and he said good morning. Oh, I just poisoned myself. He said, I was like, hi, thank you, and he said good morning, and I'm like, hello. He's like, good morning. It's just like that's not the kind of not really. More poison. Alright. This is alright. This is alright. I could PvP. I could PvP. Oh no, I can't PvP. But that's not really the kind of interaction that's, what I would consider normal. What else? What other school stories are there? It's just school is so boring. Here's the order of my classes. Alright. I wake early in the morning. I go to what's it called? Humanities. That's like our social studies / reading class that I talked about in the last video, but it's a different teacher. Because it's a different year and it's a different grade. I feel like I shouldn't be clarifying all these things, but yeah. First, I go to my social studies / reading class, and then after that, I have that for 2 periods because it's like a 2-block class. And then I go to math. Math is I can't really call it fun, but I can't really call it like a bad class because it's mostly just note taking. After that, I go to band. Band is that person had to have been hacking, right? That's not they're what was that? That band is fun, I guess. It would be more fun if our band could play more than a singular note, like perhaps multiple in a coherent musical order, but we haven't really advanced that far yet. So at the time being, the tubas play F, and then the euphoniums play F. And that's about as far as we've gotten with that. But yeah, I feel like band later in the school year is going to be really fun. After band, I go to science. Science is a fun class because I have friends in that class, and we do experiments, and we get to talk. And I just fell into the void. We do experiments, we get to talk, and I don't know. It's just kind of a fun class. After science, I go to Spanish. Spanish is just Spanish. After that, I go to computer science. Computer science is kind of fun. We started on this project where we have to code a fidget cube. If you can even call it coding, because the coding that we do in computer science, it's block coding. I don't think you can consider that coding. It's not like JavaScript. It's not even like Python or anything. It's just drag and drop, and voila, you're a coder. Well, if no one told me coding was this easy. Now I can get a job in IT. I can manage that. Whoa, this person's so good at PvP. How are they so good? That's a sapnap skin. Is that a sapnap skin? That's not a sapnap skin. It looks like a sapnap skin. But yep. So that's my schedule. Reading / social studies, math, band, science, Spanish, and what's it called? Computer science. Yeah. Don't really know if there's any classes that I hate. I don't think there's any classes that I hate, actually. It's just that there used to be classes last year that I especially liked, and I'm just like, I guess I'm just disappointed to not have any of those this year, but I think I'll get used to it after a little bit. Yeah, eventually I think I'll get used to it. Used to all my classes. Lava, 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 go in, go in, go in, and go in. Oh, I'm stuck in a block, I'm stuck in a block, I'm stuck in a block, and I'm getting hit, and I'm getting hit, and I'm dead. What other school stories are there? During the summer, I was really excited for school. I kind of wanted to go, because I had this, like, ideal memory where, 1/4 of the actual kids who go to school were in the building, so it was it was empty, it was peaceful. There wasn't too much traffic, there wasn't too much yelling. There was everyone was calm, and yeah, it was all good. Then I had to go back, and that was not the same as I remembered it, because I don't know how much you can forget. Like, I don't know how much people forget over a 3-month period. But I don't think I could over romanticize school in a 3-month period. Like, and I don't think that, like, number of people in a school tripling could could affect how much fun I have in school at such a magnitude. Because obviously, like, having 3 times as much people is gonna make school like 1,000 times worse. But I don't know if it could make it this much worse, because I I'm aware it would be worse, but this much worse. This is just it's just like last year was like a S tier, A tier year, and this year is like a D or an F. No, not an F. An F. Well, I think it's too early to call this year an F. Second, I got second. I want to get a win. I want to get a win before I stop. But yeah, you can't call this. I can't call this year an F, because it's not. It's still kind of fun. What would be an F? An F would be like you have to wake up, high school time, which is in my school, it's like you have to wake up at you have to go to school at 6:50, which means you have to wake up at like 6, and you have to go to like, and none of your classes are fun, right? Not only do you have to wake up really early, but your classes are also really. I think what I'm trying to say is my definition of my definition of what my definition of an F tier school year is just high school. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. High school is gonna all be F tier, and it's gonna be terrible. So if I tell myself that, then when high school is not terrible, then I'll be happy. And when it more likely is terrible, I will be like, well, at least I expected. Is this a pathway? Huh. What a nice little pathway to mid. I don't even have to get any blocks. It's so cool. Die, 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 die. Oh, I died. Wrong person. Wrong person died. But yeah, I wonder if they intentionally made high school like resemble the ideology of like quite literal torture. I wonder if that's what they were going for there, because I don't know, it feels like it might have been. It's like, how do we make kids have the least amount of possible fun? And then they're like, they found this perfect algorithm and went with it. Bridging. Ah, it's a frog. No. Where'd they come from? Where'd that frog come from? What just happened? I'm trying to think of more school stories, because now that I'm in school, I should have like a bunch, right? But I don't. And that's the problem. think it's because of how boring school is this year. It's just so I hate it so much. I want to know. Like on the fourth day of school, right? Here's how they started school, right? For us, they started school on a Thursday, and during summer, it's like, why would they? Whoa, where'd that person come from? During summer, it's like, why would they start school on a Thursday? That just makes quite literally like no sense. But once school started, I was so glad because after those first 2 days, I so needed that break. Like, you don't understand how much I needed that break even after the first 2 days of school. Like, you go there for 2 days, and you would think it'd be fine, but it's not fine, and it's like those 2 day that 2 day weekend after after my first 2 days in school was kind of like it's supposed to be a time to reflect. They give you 2 days inside the building, and they give you 2 days to reflect, and 2 days to realize that you have to do that for over 200 days. You have to do that for the next, like, what is it, 36 weeks. You have to do that for so much longer, and like those that it's almost as if that weekend is just made to give you a mental breakdown. Oh, I should probably put blocks in this. Never mind. Thank you guys so much for watching, like, episode 2 of these school stories. Click on this thing to the right of me to watch part 1, and click on this thing to my left to subscribe to my main channel, because this is my second. Why are you here on my second? Subscribe to my main channel. That's where I put all the effort, and this channel is not supposed to be good. It's just supposed to be whatever. Just subscribe.